So we're at a little bit of a conundrum because for me personally, I like summer. I've made it known on this channel that summer is my favorite season. And the reason why I like it is because there's so many fragrances that are widely acceptable, widely liked, right? You got citrus notes, you got tea notes, you got beautiful florals, you got amazing, nice, crisp, clean woods, aromatics, vetivers, especially vetivers. For me, I love vetivers that sing in the summertime. Now, with that being said, fall luckily is one of my favorites, my second favorite season. And the reason being is it unlocks a whole different profile. Profiles that I miss when the weather is a little bit warm. Now, even though I don't necessarily like the cold, I do have the ability to wear a sweater, which is fine. I get to stylize it, all that good stuff. But it unlocks the vanillas, the ambers, the tobaccos, the resins, the rum notes, the whiskey notes, things like that. Notes that I really, really like. And if you do pay attention to the nuances of florals, it unlocks different complexities with florals and different notes that also play really well in warm weather. So today, if you haven't noticed by the title, we're going to talk about 10 fall scents that I recommend. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring you some differences from the list that you see on YouTube because what's the point? I don't want to fall into the rotation of others. So I have 10 different fragrances that I think you guys are going to enjoy from houses that you may not even know. And I do encourage you to try them. I'll have links down below for you to go and try them. And we'll kind of get rolling with that. So I'm excited to bring you this list. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. When I get back, we'll play our music and we'll then dive into 10 fragrances that I think will be amazing for fall. See you guys soon. Joining me. Given the fact that you're still here, that means you guys are interested in what I have to say. So please, if you can, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button for me. Please share the content and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. So all the support that you guys give me really helps. So thank you guys for that. Now, further ado, we're going to touch into these 10 fragrances that I'm selecting. Very, very excited for it. But again, please utilize the links down below. Some I do get a little bit of kickback from, and some I don't. I'll let you know which ones I do and which ones I don't. But it helps the channel grow. It helps me get more fragrances that I can actually bring to you. But most importantly, it gives you guys a safe space to actually conduct a transaction. So without further ado, let's get into this list. It's not a top 10, it's just a list of 10 fragrances for the fall season that I've generated, and we'll talk about our first one. So our first fragrance we're going to talk about is from a house that I'm absolutely in love with, and this house is Jinkoh Store. Now, Jinkoh Store, if you don't know about it, please familiarize yourself with them. This is from their niche collection, and this is called Tobacco Noir. Now, if you're thinking this is your run-of-the-mill tobacco fragrance, you are going to be severely, severely surprised and wrong, quite frankly. This fragrance is masterful, and I don't use masterful really often. This one is up there. What you get with this fragrance is not just a tobacco note, but a tobacco note not really influenced by smoky tobacco. You're getting a smooth, barky tobacco. A tobacco that plays well with the rest of the composition. This is wonderful. Roasted nuts, maple syrup, a nice creamy milk. That's what you're getting with this. It's so decadent. It's so neutralized by the rum and whiskey that's in this fragrance that the balance of this composition doesn't flow overtly sweet. it retains its beauty with the tobacco nature, the natural tobacco nature of it, without overextending itself to the sweetness of some of the designer fragrances or some of the other niche fragrances that do tobacco. This is wonderful. I can't get over the roasted note, the roasted nuts in this. It's absolutely wonderful, especially with the hazelnut, the maple. It just adds such a wonderful dimension to this fragrance. The cool thing about this fragrance is 2 sprays is really, really good, and it'll last you the whole day. Literally, it's very potent. 3 sprays, you're exiting a room. Like you're everybody's, yeah. And you're making yourself known. So I'd say spray very, very, you know, be considerate when you spray this, but the quality of this is phenomenal. I can't wait for you guys to actually let me know what you think about this. Sample it first, because it might not be everybody's cup of tea. Sample everything that I mentioned in this list. But if I were to actually rank this whole list, this would be number 1. Tobacco Noir is phenomenal. So we'll get to fragrance number 2. All right, so fragrance number 2 is coming from the house of Sospiro. Now, Sospiro, I've talked about quite a bit. I love their summer scents. You're talking about, you know, vibrato, contralto, basso. But I have one that I absolutely, absolutely love, and this is Afgano Puro. Now, Afgano Puro is very similar to Nasamoto's Black Afgano. It really is. Like, if you know what that smells like, you exactly will know exactly what this smells like. However, I find the quality of this to be much more richer, much more potent. In my opinion, I feel like there's been a little bit of slip up with Nasamoto's. However, I feel like Sospiro's Afgano Puro is phenomenal. It has that rich, dark cannabis composition. You got some patchouli in there, some beautiful woods. Again, very luxurious, very rich, very potent, very different, very unique. I think this is a type of fragrance that separates you from what others are wearing. You've found your way in the fragrance journey that you don't feel influenced by others. You've carved your own way and you want to wear something that is special. This, again, very resemblant of Black Afgano. Again, you got that cannabis note. The cannabis is enhanced by a dirtiness of the fragrance, but that dirtiness is really rich. It's really dark. It's something that, again, explodes off of your skin. I think you don't have to go too heavy on the sprays here. 3 to 4 might be great. And again, you're getting something potent, and that should last you throughout the whole day. This, with the cool breeze hitting you in the air, phenomenal. Give this one a try, guys. Honestly, Sospiro's Afgano Puro. Now, the third fragrance we're going to talk about is from one of my favorite houses, and I'm sure you guys know, this is Boadicea the Victorious. Now, what fragrance is this? It is bodacious. Now, if you were in the know of bodacious, you're in the know. This, to me, is probably one of my favorite cherry-based fragrances. It's divine. It's something that is very, very high quality. You got a cherry rum composition here. I think the quality of this fragrance is phenomenal. As soon as you spray it, you're addicted. You got a beautiful woody background in here. The sweetness of the cherry is really not harsh. It's not bad. And the cherry doesn't feel overtly sweet or candied or fake, artificial, synthetic. It feels really, really natural. That darkness, that richness, that redness of a beautiful cherry that you get from the grocery store and that you actually really love eating, with that sweetness to it. And the rum composition from Boadicea, I think, is fantastic. They use really good rum notes. Some that I've seen transition from other fragrances, such as Aqua Sapphire and Ice Twist, things like that. This one, is wonderful. This one I could see very mass appealing, very much so in a lot of people's realms. Get your nose on this one. I think you guys would absolutely love Bodacious from Boadicea the Victorious. The cherry in here is standoutish. Check it out. Now, the fourth fragrance we're going to talk about is from the house of Theodoros Karotins, and this is Santal Wood. Now, as much as you kind of think about it, it's like, oh, sandalwood, okay, what else is here? Yes, you do get a wonderful sandalwood, but the thing I think, again, that really carries this fragrance for me is the composition of sandalwood, oud, and rum. The rum in here is so good. It's different than the other fragrances that I mentioned from Tobacco Noir and also Bodacious. The rum just feels almost invigorating. Very wonderful. The sandalwood that plays with it, the oud that plays with it, neither of those are really the star of the show. I feel like the rum gives this fragrance that type of feeling of addiction. When I wear this, I get a sense of class, a sense of power, a sense of keeping my head up high. I feel confident. This is a very wonderful fragrance. I'm actually going to give it a spray because I really do enjoy this one. Beautiful atomizer too. I love the wood on the bottle. I think oh my God. Yo. There's this sweetness, this woody sweetness to it that really sets it apart from a lot of the fragrances that we're going to talk about. Again, look at the smile on my face. Oh my God. Yeah. It's the sandalwood sweetness with that rum. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there's a patchouli note in here as well. And that oud really brings that woody facet to it that is just remarkable. My goodness. My goodness. I think Theodoros Karotins does a lot of fragrances really well. A lot of the hype beasts in the community are the sweeter stuff like the creme brulee and things like that. But Santal Wood, my goodness. Get your nose on this. This, if I was to rank the list, this would be probably 2 or 3 in my opinion. So just letting you guys know. All right, now moving on to the 5th fragrance. This is from HFC, Hot Fragrance Company. I hope I pronounced the first word right. Hot. H-A-U-T-E. All right. Anyways, this is Sword Dancer. Now, Sword Dancer is another rum-based fragrance. Very aromatic. The rum is beautiful in this fragrance. The quality of this is really good. In my opinion, I think this is a very light wearing experience. I do love the notes in this. Just to kind of break it down for you, with this fragrance, you're going to get a wonderful aromatic to it, a warm, spicy note to it. There's a little bit of zestiness, some freshness to it. You get this beautiful experience with a balsam fir, a little bit of greenness to it. My goodness. I think this one is very enjoyable, very classy, very elegant. Again, in the wind, when this gets captured by the wind and it takes it, it's very fluttering. You get cardamom in this. The spices are really awesome, very vibrant, but that rum note really brings it down to earth. I think this to me is very high quality. If you're looking for a rum-based fragrance that'll, kind of be more easy to like, not too challenging, I think HFC's Sword Dancer might be something that you guys want to consider. This one is really fabulous and probably one of my favorite easy to wear cooler weather fragrances, spring, fall, winter. Now, the 6th fragrance we're going to talk about, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about this. I think the next 2 you guys have heard about. But I really do want to emphasize how much I really do love this fragrance because in my opinion, I think when the weather is a bit cooler, patchouli is a note that I love. I think it really, really takes off on my skin. And again, there's a comforting facet to patchouli that I like more than a vanilla type of sweetness. And this is from the house of Jovoy. And this is Psychedelic. Now, Sebastian, he's put me onto this one personally. Like not personally, like I don't know him. He probably has no idea who the hell I am. But I did watch his channel about Jovoy's. And when he did mention psychedelic, I did, or psychedelic, I did go out and purchase a bottle. And as you can see from the dent, rather phenomenal stuff. You get a seductive patchouli. This is patchouli dominant. This patchouli is sweet, resinous, it's dark, it's very seductive, it's very intimate, it's loud, it projects well in the wind, in the cooler weathers. This does phenomenal. People could stop you and ask you, what are you wearing? This is that good. Very unisex in my opinion, especially if you like the darkness in a fragrance. I think this one captures that rather well. Jovoy, in my opinion, I really don't understand why it's not talked about as much as it is in the community. Maybe no free bottles are being handed out, but needless to say, Jovoy, I think, makes phenomenal fragrances. I have 4 from them: Incident Diplomatique, which is good, Fire at Will, and Amber Premier. Those 2 I was highly debating putting into this video, but I kind of wanted to keep it to one a house. So, without, you know, kind of complicating things, we'll stick with Psychedelic. I think if you're a patchouli lover, this one is wonderful, wonderful. So, give this one a try. Making our way downtown, we are going to our 7th fragrance. This is from the house of Maison Kurkdjian, and this is Gentle Fluidity Gold. Now, a lot of people talk about silver, and rightfully so. Silver is phenomenal. I love the juniper, I love the aromatics, I love the cleanliness of Gentle Fluidity Silver. Fun story that I have with gold is I was the best man for my best friend's wedding, and I figured, you know, being a fragrance guy, the rest of our best men, groomsmen, and obviously the groom should be smelling great. So I brought over a plethora of fragrances for us to all choose. One of my friends chose Gentle Fluidity Silver. Gentle Fluidity Gold. And I remember we're out, it was actually scorching hot that day. But then when we came into the AC is when I actually really took notice of this. He wore this. And throughout the night, when we were kind of all together and, you know, I was trailing him and the wind was kind of hitting him, and it was kind of, you know, I was more so kind of trailing. This fragrance, the trail was like no other that I've smelled. It was magnificent. I think this is pure elegance. It takes the DNA of gentle fluidity, that cleanliness, that sharpness, that juniper, and adds a light vanillic touch, a beautiful vanillic touch. And I'm really not 100% into vanillas like that, but the vanilla in this is clean. It doesn't feel syrupy. It doesn't feel viscous. It feels airy. It feels clean. It feels really beautiful to wear. So, in my opinion, if you've only heard about Gentle Fluidity Silver, I personally think I prefer the gold more, to each their own, but try this out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. This is pure class. I really regret getting this in 35 ml, but again, given that I have quite a few behind me, it'll take me a while to get rid of this, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be something I'll re-up on. So, Gentle Fluidity Gold, give it a shot. All right, now back to fragrances that you may not know of, and that's completely fine. This is from the house of Spirit of Dubai, and we're going to talk about Fahama. So if you want to pronounce it in the Western way, Fakama. but this is Fahama. This is wonderful. If you're a fan of rose oud, this is a fragrance you do need to check out. It's actually my scent of the day that I'm wearing today. This is luxuriously rich. This is Dubai in a bottle. This is very, very important. I just feel like you're the center of attention when you're wearing this. Like, look at the beauty of this bottle. It's luxurious. It's absolutely luxurious. The oud is really nice. It's really balanced. The rose is nice. It's sweet, but it's a little bit dark. You get dried fruits in this composition. Very typical of Middle Eastern perfumes. If you're a fan of Middle Eastern fragrances, this is definitely something that I think you should try out. Keep in mind, it might not be everybody's cup of tea. When you take a look at the Fragrantica breakdown of the notes, there's going to be a plethora of that. You know, there's animalic tones to this. There's a multitude of different florals, such as the roses in this, but it's a Middle Eastern rose oud kind of dried fruit composition that sits really, really well. And then when it dries down, it does become a little bit more subtle, a little bit more calmer, but I think it is really, really high quality. And again, it's something that you may not be aware of. I think you should definitely check out. A little bit heavier, but if you're into the heavier compositions, this could be for you. Now, the 9th fragrance that we're going to talk about today is from the house of Roja Dove. And this is one of my favorites, especially when you're talking about a cooler weather aromatics. This is Apex. Now, something about this fragrance really hits my soul, but I do like my greener fragrances. I do like my vetivers. I do like my woodsier types of fragrances, chypres, if you can, you know, if that would be the term. I believe it is. But Apex is just, it is like when you talk about Apex, Predator, Jungle, like not Predator as in Diddy, like no Diddy. Fuck. Don't cancel me. Predator, like in the jungle, like Alien versus Predator. This is vegetal. There's sparkling aspects to it. The aromatics are phenomenal. The spiciness is really nice. It's a lighter, spicy type of composition. It's not like a warm, spicy. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think, again, when the wind hits it, you feel that almost Chypre to Fougère type of crossover with this. You feel clean. You feel really, really elegant in a sense, but very uplifting. Again, it feels like a jungle type of fragrance. I just love Apex. I think one of my favorites in the sense of how much I like wearing it. Not really too complex, but there's so much depth to it, especially when you're talking about the aromatic side. I just think it's different. It's definitely different. Yeah, I enjoy this quite a bit. If you haven't already, I'm pretty sure you've heard and seen a lot of reviews about this, but get your nose on Apex if you already haven't. I really, really do enjoy this fragrance a lot. And last but not least, we're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of Argos, and this is their newest release, Sacred Flame. Now, Sacred Flame to me, I really enjoy. I think if you can check the review, I'll put the card up there. Sacred Flame to me, I thought was a phenomenal release. The more I wear it, the more I enjoy it. I think, given the fact that I find that this fragrance has 3 stages of the wearing experience, the opening, the mid, and the dry down feel very different to me. It's just something I enjoy. It's something that makes me think. It's something that makes me explore as I'm wearing it. And again, when we're talking about lastability, you got that there. You get something that opens up and it feels very, very zen-like. Then, you know, other notes start kind of bringing itself out. You get a beautiful bark-like note, which to me feels very tobacco-y. You get some cinnamon in here, some warm spiciness in here. Beautiful for the cooler weather. You get this beautiful peach note that plays amazingly well with the rest of the fragrance. You know, there's a little element of fruitiness, a little element of that woody barkiness with the spices kind of kicking in. I think this is a very, very great release. To me, this is almost teetering on the line of, is it a must own if you're a fan of the House of Argos, in in comparison to like a Triumph of Bacchus, right? Like when you hear Argos, everybody will be like, "Have you tried Triumph of Bacchus?" Right? I think Sacred Flame is really close to that talking point. Really, really enjoy this fragrance, and you know, get your nose on it. The juice color is beautiful as well. I highly, highly recommend it. But that's my top 10, or my 10 fragrances for fall that I think you guys should check out. I'm probably going to release a part 2 video because I do have a lot more fragrances that I do want to showcase to you. So let me know what you guys think about this first video. Let me know if you guys want a second. What are your favorite fragrances for fall? And maybe some I should check out. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys watching it all the way through. Please again subscribe, please like, please share, and stay smelling amazing. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for the love, and peace out. Take care. Bye.